Alright guys, about 1:30. It is still April 7th, still Monday. Almost 10 degrees centigrade, 52 Fahrenheit, and my batteries are working on getting charged up. So, just quickly, probably quickly is going to take me 15 minutes, but I don't have that much battery left, so it better not. Let's talk about this rig. Let's say you're walking down the road and you find this on the side of the road. First thing you do is you want to start cursing because it's dripping gas for some reason. Just stop dripping gas. It's probably empty. No, it's dripping gas for some reason. Yeah, this is my high-power gas tank here. I don't know if the hose pulled off or what your problem is. Let's talk about this bike. Let's say you find it sitting there right on the side of the road, just sitting there, and it's the way I found it. So you don't have to buy it. The bike was free, and let's talk about what it took to get this thing running. So, as I'm futzing around with this, you guys could already figure out that the gas tank was shot, right? Doesn't take a genius to think about that, because if it wasn't shot, I wouldn't be playing with it like I'm playing with it. So, you need a gas tank. I took the plastic off and cleaned it up so I have no money there. But if I decide to put a cushion on the seat, they're about 30 bucks. So once again, we're at free plus $30 for a seat cushion. The back tires delivered to the house were about 85 bucks. So seat cushion plus 85 bucks. What did I say? 25 for the cushion. That takes me to 120. Okay, I'm at 120. The front tire was about 50 bucks delivered, and the tube was another 20. So 50 plus 20 is another 70, which takes me to 190. I'm trying to remember if this is the one that was on the bike or if I had to go get this from my hoard. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about that. I don't like bikes that drip gas. I never did. A couple of reasons. I don't like crotch fires, and I also don't like putting gasoline on the ground because I have a well here, and there's stuff in gasoline that's like you really don't want to drink. My well is a good distance from where I'm standing, and probably everything that's going to end up on the ground, probably 99% of it's going to evaporate, but still, given all that, I just don't think it's cool to drip gas on the ground. Right, so let's put it in the rag and have it evaporate, which isn't the greatest thing either. So, where was I? I think I was at 120 before I had to put the $70 from the front tire on there, which takes me to 190, and I think I had to put that recoil on it. I don't think it was on there. Okay. Typical recoil, if you find them and they need to be rebuilt, well, let's forget the recoil. Let's just leave it at 190. And actually, with the stuff to buff up and clean the plastic and all that, let's make it an even $200. So to get tires on it, to get the seat cleaned up, everything else, I got 200 bucks invested in it. Not bad, but I need a gas tank. Gas tank in plastic, they're about 100 bucks, which takes me to an even 300. So, if you found this lying on the side of the road, what would it cost you to get it running? About 300 bucks. Oh, and the carburetor. That's another 25. Now we're up to 3 1/4. So you're looking at 325 bucks. Oh, wait a minute. I put a $100 rear end in it, right? Remember, the rear end cost another 100. 3 1/4, 4 1/4. So for a bike, once again, that you found lying on the side of the road that had a solid engine, somewhat of a seat, right? I mean, the seat's there, and the plastic was fixable, right? Look at that. Look at the numbers you're putting into it. So I just want to warn you, as you're buying these things and all, it's not free to get them running. Back to Musty One, you guys could probably tell I watch his videos. His single cab, I think he said a number one time as he was putting it together, and I assume it includes the Volkswagen, it includes the vehicle. I think he said his budget was $3,500. I don't know if that's what he spent, that's what he expected to spend, or whatever. I mean, his single cab is cool, and it's worth some I assume it's worth some pretty good freight, but you're looking at it and you're going, oh well, you just got it running, what's the big deal? Well, it is a big deal, and the numbers start to add up. So just quickly, start in the back. We're looking at 90 for the tires, and the rear end, call that an even 200, right? So there's 2. What else did I put into it? The front tire was another 70, so we're at 270. I got to put a seat cover on it, which takes me to about 300. Well, maybe I do get to stop at 300. Guys, my math, 3 1/4 with the carburetor. Oh, and then the gas tank takes me to 4 1/4. Yep, that's it. So about these things, every one of them you look at, the gas tanks are about shot. The good thing is there are plastic gas tanks. For these guys, they're a little over 100. For those guys, they're just barely under 100. That's the good news. The bad news is plastic gas tanks. I don't know how much you guys have used them, but that crap I showed you in the carburetor, you don't seem to get as much of that from a metal gas tank. I mean, obviously this thing has a black plastic gas tank on it. Plastic's plastic. It seems that when I use plastic gas tanks, I end up with more crap in the carburetor that gets into trouble. What's my next project? Well, obviously I got to bolt the plastic on, but a couple of guys out there have cable lifts. I'm calling it a cable lift. What it is it's a picture a platform, right? Top platform with the all-terrain vehicle, the tractor, whatever goes. So platform, picture a base, a couple of legs sticking out, right? Put my finger where you can see it. Then picture a set of arms off the base such that when it's flat on the ground, you got the base on the ground, you got the arms both on the ground, and you got the platform attached to it. So the platform's kind of out here. You have a cable situation on a right angle, braced a little bit, right? And when you engage the hoist, it pulls on the cable, which literally takes the scissor and pulls it up, right? It comes up on those two members I described down below. So you pull it all the way up, and it's up here and high. I would actually like to set it up to go high enough to put things up on here. That would be helpful, right, for getting things on and off, up and down. That would be a real big plus. Though to work on things, I don't necessarily need them this high. And the higher you want it to go, the longer those arms are, which makes the whole affair kind of bigger and longer. But the other nice thing, if it's set up right, you can kind of bring it halfway up, and it's kind of a variable lift thing. Once again, the only annoying thing about it is it will be kind of long on the ground. I'm thinking of using, I have some of this metal here. At work, we use this stuff to strap cylinders to and to attach piping and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking about it. And what I would love is if I could set it up that let's say it's like this, right? As the cable pulls up, this whole thing would swing upward, right? I hope I'm showing it somewhat well. But if you're looking at it that way, and I have the platform attached to this, the whole thing is relatively thin. I mean, it will be sitting on the floor of the garage, and the right angle part will be sticking out. But generally speaking, it'll be relatively thin. The other thing is, once it's up, and there's a bike up on it, back to theory. A theory is, depending on how high I set it to go up, one could slip a bike underneath it, which could be cool, right? If I put it right here, one walks into the garage, and you got a bike up on the lift, you're working on it, the bike underneath, you just roll out. It makes life a little easier. You kind of have your project, and then that way I'm not like bending over and kneeling in the floor. I'm working on things at approximately this height. So that's kind of a build I'm thinking of. Would like to enter the contests also, and I'd like to win the contest, though I would not keep, obviously I'm excluded from winning the contest, but I would still like to enter them, and I'd love to get the most votes, because that would be like winning, but the prize would still be to whatever subscriber wins the contest. So anyway, all the great thoughts in my mind, right? I guess it's spring and my brain has all these great thoughts. So it is something I'm thinking about. And maybe I'll just take a few minutes and lay it out and show you guys a little closer to what I'm thinking. Guys, thanks for watching, commenting, subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, your head up. We'll catch you on the next episode of The Horde. Take care now, folks.